certified organic vineyard. It's a really old vineyard. It's in Sonoma Valley. It is truly magical. In fact, it's so magical that it gets the Ravens 3 Squawk Award. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, that was 4 squawks. It's even better, see? It's fabulous. It is a great old vineyard. Planted probably between 1885 and 1886 or so. It was originally planted in 1867 by William McPherson Hill. William McPherson Hill believed in Iberian varieties. What the heck are Iberian varieties? Well, you might think Spain, but he was confused. It was actually anywhere in southern Europe. So this vineyard is a vineyard that is 51% Zinfandel is planted. It's got maybe as many as 24 other grape varieties planted in it. You know, the usual Carignano Petit Syrah and Alicante Bouschet, but it also has Tempranillo, Touriga Nacional, you know, Negrette, you know, all these crazy varieties which you've never even heard of before. In fact, it's almost like a seed bank for grapes. There are some grapes that are probably extinct in other parts of the world that live here. So it's pretty amazing old vineyard. We pick all the Zinfandel first, make one wine. When we go in, we pick all the rest of the grapes 2 weeks or so later, make another wine, and then we blend these wines back together to make the best wine that we can make. This vineyard has been probably the most highly rated vineyard that Ravenswood makes wine out of. Every year it gets 90 to 95. Wine and Spirits loved this wine this year. We ended up being Winery of the Year associated with this wine. So it's a cool wine. There's no question about it. And year after year after year, it performs. It has performed for many years. It's the oldest single vineyard designated wine I know of in California. I first ran into this wine in the late 50s. It was being vineyard designated by Rudon Smith when nobody was vineyard designated anything. So they must have thought it was special. Unfortunately, they buried in so much American oak you couldn't really tell it was there. You could tell there was something there. It was dark, it was spicy, but you know what? The American oak kind of whacked it out. But we don't do that. We only use really fine French oak, and we use it in proportions that make this wine really good. So low productions, low crop levels, and certified organic. And let's see what the back of the bottle says. The back of the bottle says we made 1,180 cases of this wine, so not a lot. You know, 1,180 cases of a 95-point wine for the entire world. Not very far. And we bottled it in April. Yeah, that's what we do, a little bit early this year. And it's planted in the same Tuscan Red Hill Series soil as Bariscia because only up the valley. You know, it's only about half a mile from Bariscia, but the wines are entirely different. So, remarkable. And this wine has 14.8% alcohol. That was the beauty of the 07 vintage. These grapes were out there on the vines for a long time. They developed beautifully refined flavors, but the alcohols were very much in control. In some vintages, the alcohols climb up into the 15s. You know, these were all between 14 and 15, which was pretty remarkable. So, enough of the talk. Let's drink, because I think that's the best part of these wines anyway. The talk is important. You know, people like the talk, but the Raven would say, let's drink. You know, so Raven was an impatient kind of guy. So, there we are. So what's it look like? Nice, dark color, you know, this very pretty red-blue edge. Yeah, got some nice entry. Well, what's it going to smell like? Wow. You know, this wine is kind of like a mountain range. It just kind of has lots of little peaks and valleys that go across, and it comes up and it just like hits you across that peak and valley depth. And when you draw in, as you draw in the wine, you get different flavors from the beginning of the scent to the end of the scent. It starts out with this really clear clarion spice quality to it, with some blackberry kind of qualities. And that blackberry note gets deeper and richer. And then there's this kind of minty quality that kind of rolls over the top of it. And at the very end, you get this kind of smoky quality, almost Rhone-like. It's really cool. Yeah. Yep. I agree with what I just said. Again. just fills them out. You can sort of feel it in your cheeks. Wow. And it just rolls off the tongue, and there's this wonderful sort of layer of spicy, soft tannin that comes in there. But on top of that soft tannin, it's almost like just a pillow of fruit that just sort of hangs in there. And there's this slight bitterness, but it's not an unpleasant bitterness. It's a bitterness that you say, wow, if I had a steak, this would be terrific. And in fact, this wine would do really well with that. This wine, of course, because it's got the structure, because it's got the tannin, because it's got the complex anthocyanin associated with it, lasts for a very long time. I had the honor of having it in 1984 recently. It was in somebody else's cellar. And it was a complete mind-blowing wine. And I don't say that just because I made it. I say it because everybody at the table who had that wine that night was going, wow. And they just kind of nurtured that glass so they could see how long it would last. But glasses were finished well before the wine died out. So terrific, got a lot more life left in it. It is a wonderful old vineyard. It's a vineyard that I'm very proud to make, and it's a vineyard that's really one of a kind. So enjoy it, enjoy selling it.